Cleveland Indians starting Tuesday night. All thanks to a strong pitching rotation, hot Cubs bats, and the dark assistance of Asmalor, the evil wizard who manager Joe Madden signed a blood compact with in exchange for a World Series win. And the Windy City is buzzing over the possibility that he might fulfill his dark prophecy and bring the Cubs their first World Series victory in more than 100 years. The Cubs are favored in their matchup against the Indians thanks to their young, hungry lineup, as well as an ancient wizard who the elders in the village claim is as old as the stars themselves, and who can also take the form of a stag, a beautiful young maiden, or even Cubs GM Jed Hoyer. So tune in Tuesday night and see if Asmalor delivers on his promise that, yes, you will have your golden rings, trinkets all, but at a price you cannot fathom. Ha 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 ha! Go Cubs go! And all hail Asmalor!
It's the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Tonight, Stephen welcomes Tom Hanks and Adam Colbert, featuring John Baptiste and Stay Human. And now, live on tape from the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, it's Stephen Colbert.
Welcome to the Late Show, everybody. So glad you're here. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I gotta say, I'm in a fantastic mood because the Chicago Cubs are going to the World Series, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The World Cup of Baseball, and the Cubs are playing another lovable loser, the Cleveland Indians. Now, the two teams have a combined 176 years without a championship. To put that in perspective, that is almost as long as a baseball game feels. Now, the last time the Chicago Cubs were in the World Series was in 1945, way back when they played Hitler. Yeah, wow. Yeah. He's pretty good. Pretty good in the early game, but then he popped out in the ninth inning, and that's how America won World War II. Yeah. That's the truth. You won't find that in any history book,
That's
though.
right.
No. Cleveland, on the other hand, hasn't won a World Series since 1948, back when their mascot, Chief Wahoo, was the least racist thing about America. The golden age. Speaking of single-minded, century-long quest for victory at all cost, Hillary Clinton's in the news. It's been a long time coming. She's been very patient. She's been very patient. As a native Chicagoan, she is a lifelong Cubs fan. In fact, this picture of her reacting to the Cubs went viral over the weekend. She has not been this excited since that time she saw shiny balloons. It's really a feel-good story. A Chicagoan excited about the Cubs' win is what Hillary Clinton wants you to believe. Because back in 2000, she wore a Yankees cap. Yeah. It's a baseball fandom scandal I'm calling Yank Ghazi. Yeah. And this time, I was afraid the graphic wasn't coming up. And this time, I'm not alone, folks, because the media has been digging into this very important story. In fact, CNN is reporting that even though Clinton may have gone to Cubs games with her father as a kid, but after leaving Illinois and around the time she ran for Senate in New York, the former First Lady touted her love for the New York Yankees. Oh, how convenient. As a 10-year-old, she wears a Cubs hat. A mere 40 years later, she's in a Yankees hat. I mean, is there no hat she won't wear? Okay, there's one hat. There's one hat. There's one. I say we keep a close eye on her during the World Series. We know she won't be rooting for the Yankees because they already lost. At this point, that's like voting for Donald Trump. But no matter what happens to the Cubs, Hillary Clinton is already the winner because she's decided to stop talking about Donald Trump, explaining, I debated him for 4.5 hours. I don't even think about responding to him anymore. Yes, Hillary says she's not giving any thought to what Donald Trump says. So that makes both of them now. Trump. Trump clearly feeds on attention, so this might work. By denying it to him, we can starve him out. So I pledge right now, I will spend the rest of the monologue not talking about Donald Trump, okay? Here we go. So, magnificent fall weather this week.
Yeah, that's right.
Incredibly beautiful.
It's
incredibly beautiful. The leaves are changing color.
Nice.
There is a maple tree in my front yard that turned bright orange no, you can do this. Okay, Halloween is coming up. Everyone's looking for a jack-o'-lantern. Damn it. Okay, all right, don't give up. Okay, never mind. Donald Trump, he gave this weekend, he gave a speech in Gettysburg. And the actual battlefield where the Union turned the tide against the Confederacy, I guess Trump feels a kinship with lost causes that will haunt our country for generations. Now, Trump started strong with all the gravity of this sacred ground.
President Lincoln served in a time of division like we've never seen before. It is my hope that we can look at his example to heal the divisions we are living through right now. We are a very divided nation.
It's true. America is divided between those who think Trump will lose because the election is rigged and those who think he'll lose because it is not. And to his credit, Donald Trump stayed focused on his message of uniting the country for about 45 seconds, and then this.
Every woman lied when they came forward to hurt my campaign. Total fabrication. All of these liars will be sued after the election is over.
Yes, he will take all of these women to court, but at least when he's swearing in, they'll know where his hands are. And Trump continued to unite this nation by making us choose sides.
The dishonest mainstream media is also part, and a major part, of this corruption. They lie and fabricate stories to make a candidate that is not their preferred choice look as bad and even dangerous as possible.
It's true, the media is making Donald Trump look bad. For instance, they reported this speech. Of course, take a second. Gotta let it sink in. Gotta let it sink in. Gotta let it sink in. Of course, he also played his greatest hits, putting a new spin on this campaign classic.
Remember, I said Mexico's paying for the wall, with the full understanding that the country of Mexico will be reimbursing the United States for the full cost of such a wall. Okay?
What? Reimburse us for the wall? You clearly said Mexico would pay for the wall. Paying for something is very different than reimbursing. You can't take a date out for dinner, make her pay, and then say, just send me an invoice. Or maybe you can. I can't believe that he would go to Gettysburg and give a speech that was so far from the spirit of the Gettysburg Address. It is just ridiculous.
Well, that's not true, Stephen.
Ghost of Abraham Lincoln, everybody.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Well, thank you for being here, Mr. Ghost Lincoln.
My pleasure, Stephen. Good to see you.
Oh, okay, always good to see you, sir. Okay, Abe, were you shocked by Trump's speech at Gettysburg?
No, it reminded me of my address.
What? Sir, they were nothing alike.
Well, that's because no one ever heard the first draft of my Gettysburg Address. My advisors made me tone it down. Would you like to hear some of it?
Well, of course. Would you like to hear it, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, the rough draft of the Gettysburg Address.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that I did not proposition those women. They're liars. And I mean, just look at them. They wouldn't be my first choice. And when I said grab them by the petticoat, that was merely log cabin talk. I will sue those lying Jezebels into the ground, the consecrated ground in which our brave soldiers now lie. Sad. That's why we resolve that this nation under God shall make America great again, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. If I win. Otherwise, the whole Civil War is rigged. Jefferson Davis is a bad hombre. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
Lincoln,
Lock him
everybody.
up.
Thank you so much. Sir, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for letting me share.
Stick around. We've got a great show for you tonight. Tom Hanks is here.
Oh, he's good.
And when we return, Tom will reprise the role of the great and famous. We'll be right back.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, sponsored by Pampers, wishing you love, sleep, and play.
Where is it? Where is that?
That old gypsy woman said it would be somewhere. What about... Zoltar. Zoltar, I finally found you again. Well, come on. Zoltar. Zoltar! Yes. Yes. Oh, jeez.
Yes. The all-knowing Zoltar remembers you well. I want to say... Tim something?
Tom Hanks.
Yes. We worked on that movie together. The Santa Claus.
No, it was Big.
Right. Right. Wait, who's in the Santa Claus?
Well, that is Tim Allen.
You're not him?
No!
Okay, no need to yell at Zoltar. What can the all-knowing one do for you?
Well, Zoltar, the last time we met, I was a 13-year-old boy who wanted to be older. So you granted my wish, and I woke up the next morning as a 30-year-old man. And I need you to do that again, please.
Your wish is to be 17 years older?
No, I want you to turn me 30 years old again.
But don't you remember the heartwarming lesson you learned last time?
Yeah, I learned that being older isn't always what it's cracked up to be. A lesson I'm constantly learning every day at my age. Just yesterday, I tried to jump on one of those big floor pianos and do a dance. I swear I heard my hip snap. So come on, make me 30 again, make me 30.
Okay. What's in it for Zoltar?
Oh, yeah, right. Let's see, I think I got some change. There you go, 25 cents.
Seriously, a quarter? Zoltar requires your eternal soul.
Can't do that.
Why not?
I sold it to raise money for that thing you do.
Oh, really? Underrated film.
Thank you. You know, it was Charlize Theron's second job.
Really?
And
Wow,
I cast her. I
yes.
saw
Amazing,
something
great.
there. I saw
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes. Amazing. Tim Allen is great in that.
no, he's the... I'm in that.
I thought you were the guy from Toy Story.
I am. Tim's in Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2, I thought you were both in all three of them.
We are.
You see why Zoltar's confused,
Who's
right?
on first?
Look.
Who's on first?
Look.
Okay, never
Look.
mind. Classic comedy.
Who is the
bit, I'm
eternal?
just
Who is the
saying.
eternal one here?
All right, sorry.
Look. If your soul is off the table, there is one other thing that would please Zoltar.
Well, sure, anything.
Will you read my screenplay?
Oh, you have a screenplay. What's it about?
It's about a carnival fortune-telling machine, kind of an everyman. After he gets dumped by his fiancée, he goes on a road trip to find her, but ends up finding himself.
Well, I kind of feel like I've seen that one before, and sorry, I'm not interested in playing a fortune-telling machine.
You fool! You're way too old to play me. I was hoping you could get this to Colin Hanks.
Yeah? There you go.
I can't find the slot.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Well, boing. All right, fine. I'll take it. Fine, okay. Can you please just make me 30 again?
Your wish is granted. You shall wake up tomorrow and be 30.
Awesome! All right, now that means tonight is my last chance to see Inferno with the senior discount. Bye, Zoltar.
Bye, Tim. We'll be right back with Tom Hanks. And stay human. Give it up for the band, everybody. Happy fall. Well, folks, my first guest tonight is an Oscar winner, but more importantly, he's Tom Hanks. Please welcome Tom Hanks. Working on a new project over there?
Yeah, just working on this thing a little bit. This ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. I'm gonna change this. And just on, you don't mind? This might affect the budget. A great way to start any film is with exterior Hawaii beach. You know, that's not a bad start. Funny jokes, callbacks. By the way, John Baptiste and the Vamp Kings. You had to play for about 20 minutes there for like. We had the drum solo and.
Tom Hanks, you are the man from whom we all learned there's no crying in baseball.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
all right,
true.
so
it's gonna be
World Series. World Series. There's some cheering right now in both towns.
Okay, now listen, you can all stick your pins in me right now, and I know the entire world and three-legged dogs and orphaned children are all rooting for the Chicago Cubs. I realize that. But you do not do 3 long, hot summers doing Shakespeare in Cleveland, blowing time, watching the Cleveland Indians play at a park that I swear was called, at the time, Cleveland Municipal Lakefront Stadium. It wasn't like Petco Park or the Dunkin' Donuts Field or something. Cleveland Municipal Lakefront Stadium. Holds 90,000 people. I would be there on a given night with 4,800. Watching Sudden Sid Mungie, Andre Thunder Thornton, number 21 Mike, the human rain delay Hargrove. So I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, Cubs great. I'm rooting for the Cleveland Indians to win the World Series. I'm sorry. Now listen, North Side boy, you little denizen of Wrigleyville. I get your.
I actually lived on Addison.
Lived 2 blocks away
there,
for a
Sheffield,
Waveland, Addison, right there.
It's my 30th birthday at
shut up. Who cares? I want the Tribe to win, but here's what I will accept. All right, I will accept this. The 7th game in Cleveland, by the way, deciding game, bottom of the 9th. Cleveland is up. Larry Doby, the ghost of Larry Doby, is on deck. The ghost of Rocky Colavito is in the batter's box. Who do you want to pitch for your Cubs? Give me a name. Who's your great relief pitcher?
I don't know. Who is the greatest relief pitcher for the Cubs?
Aren't you a fan?
What?
Okay,
Chapman.
all right. Chapman is there. Okay,
Yep.
fine. Yeah, he knew.
Come on.
So
first base is Mark Grace. Third base is Rhino. Outfield is Sean Dunston.
All right.
Don't
fine,
give me
fine,
that.
Fine. This is what I want. Low-hanging curve. The score is tied, by the way. All right.
What? 2020?
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. It's 2020 going. It's been a great game, by the way. It has lasted 6.5 hours. Into Rocky Colavito, long fly to left center. Hanging up there. Is the wind blowing out? It might be. Is it going to go out? Who's circling under it? The wall? Who might catch it?
The ghost of Sean Dunston.
Okay, all right, excellent, fine.
But he's not dead.
All right, some legendary Cub is out there.
Yeah.
Is it going to go in? Is it going to go out? Is it going to go in? Who's going to win the game? Armageddon, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, earthquakes, lightning, toads raining down. God brings the world to an end because he can't quite root for whichever team. I will accept that ending to the World Series short of a Cleveland Indians victory.
Nothing short of
And
that.
by the way, stick your pins in me now. Send me the hate mail. Go on Twitter. I know I'm rooting against the
And you
Cubs.
actually probably get mail as opposed to email.
I do, yes. I'll get mail.
I don't mean that as an insult.
That's an
I don't mean that as an insult.
I'll get mail.
And you also, do you know it's the greatest, some say that's the greatest Tom Hanks movie of all time, You Got Mail.
Nora Ephron,
Yeah.
fabulous Meg Ryan.
I was sick one day and I watched it 3 times in a row.
Cried like a baby.
I cried like a baby the entire time. I think I was
All right,
hallucinating.
shop girl. I love you, shop girl.
No, but you take a typewriter.
I haven't been known to take a typewriter to the baseball.
Why do you take a typewriter?
Well, it's kind of like scoring the game. You have a little narrative that goes on.
Do you have a stogie and a hat that says pressing with a little card?
I sit up on a little thing, little stool. The best thing to write is this is Dodger games, and we can go. And I like baseball. I love a good long pastoral afternoon or night in the park. But the best thing to write is when your team strikes out a guy swinging, right? And in baseball parlance, you write on the score called K. K means strikeout, so it's a big fat capital K. Dash, parentheses, sit down. Period, backspace, shift 8, apostrophe, because that makes an exclamation mark, you see.
Sure.
Close parentheses. So that's what I think whoever it is walking back, gee, I struck out. I should have caught that. I didn't get it. I struck out. I think they hear me typing that up in my little box. Sit down! Clack. Backface, clack.
This might be the angriest I've ever seen Tom Hanks.
Well, it's keeps you in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It's good. The anger's good. The anger's good for the blood.
well, after 6.5 beers by the 3rd inning, you get worked up over this kind of stuff.
Now, you recently turned 60 years old.
60 years old.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
Thank you.
Was that
It wasn't hard.
really?
Yes,
Was 60 not hit you hard?
Well, no, because it's not real accomplishment. You become 60 by essentially weight.
Inertia.
But no, the 36 was hard. When I turned 36.
What? Why?
Well, because 36 is the year for my body shape anyway that your metabolism slows down. And suddenly you've been living essentially on Taco Bell, Pepsis, and, Ding Dongs. And at 36, it starts to show.
Not at all.
Oh, no.
Not at all,
The
Tom.
butt goes and stuff starts coming out of your skin. 36 was tough. But 60 is nothing. I could. 60 is not here. You want? I'm going to show you how strong a man.
You want to punch me?
I'm going to punch you.
Punch me in the arm.
All right. This is a 60-year-old man's punch.
Do I get to punch back, or is this a one-sided thing? You're a guest.
How old are you? All right.
52, I'm 52, but I'm a frail 52. Okay. Go ahead. Do what you need to.
All right. Here you go.
Do what you need to.
Ready? All right. I'm gonna lean
into it, baby.
Now I'm gonna rear back. Really? All right, ready? Did I kick you as well?
Yes. I hope. Are you okay?
Look what I did to myself.
Okay?
Look what I did.
Yeah.
I threw my shoulder out.
Oh my God. We shot that in IMAX, I hope.
You all right? You all right? You want to give me one? Go ahead.
Yeah. You know where that came from? Downtown.
What? What is this? What is this? This is a new thing that celebrities on talk shows are doing. When we don't like where the panel is going, I'm giving you a yellow card.
Well, I'll tell you what, hope I don't get the red. We'll be right back with more Tom Hanks. Stick around. Tom, excited about the new movie Inferno.
Always fun to make three of a kind of movie.
Yeah, this is the last. This is the latest Dan Brown.
Yeah,
Dan Brown, where it's like there's a great puzzle.
Robert Langdon. I keep trying to call them the Robert Langdon series, but everybody says you're making another Da Vinci Code. So I'm making another Robert Langdon mystery.
Mm-hmm.
See the guy on Da Vinci Code? Yeah, we're doing it. Inferno, it's coming out.
Inferno, yeah. And in this one, again, you're Robert Langdon, and you're trying to save the world again.
Exactly.
Okay.
Always.
And we have
and I wonder if I do. Who knows?
We'll find out.
It hangs in the balance.
I know.
Right up.
We have a clip here. Do you know what this clip is?
I have no idea.
I do not either. And that'll be exciting, Jim.
You're right above the Hall of 500. There's a stairway leading out of the street on the other side. So, one step at a time. All right. Wow, yeah. Wow, that was great.
They're heavily invested.
I'm glad I
They're heavily invested.
I love
now
it.
that is, I saw more of that clip. That's in the Uffizi Gallery, right? In Florence.
That is the above the Hall of the 500. That was a fabulous.
Where's the Hall of the 500?
Hall of 500 is in the Palazzo Vecchio.
Okay.
It is called the Hall of 500 because in the old days with big dresses they could fit 500 people in there.
Wow.
And it is a gorgeous place, and I can't believe they were letting us shoot there because you're surrounded literally by masterpieces everywhere. Everywhere.
When another one of these books come out, do you call Ron, or does he call you? Because it must be so fun for you to go, like, where do I get to go this time? Because it's the greatest trip in the world.
I kind of like
go to the most beautiful place.
I do, and I read them with my Google page open because every time they make a reference to a place or an piece of art history or architecture, I get to look it up and say, man, I hope we get to shoot there. And we do. We get to go to. We were in Florence for weeks, and
I'd walk to work with literally a cappuccino in the morning from the hotel, across the Ponte Vecchio, surrounded by antiquities. It was beautiful. It's a great gig, man.
Wow, that does not
Better
suck.
than-
Yeah. Very nice place.
No, it's always a play, and it's great to work. I love working with Ron. I mean, drives us nuts. But we have it's a very fun scavenger hunt movie.
Now, the premise of the movie, the opening question of the movie is, if you could push a button, this is the first line, no, this isn't any spoilers. If you could push a button and kill half of humanity, knowing that if you didn't push it, mankind would be extinct in 100 years, would you do it?
It's about overpopulation, and
Exactly.
the numbers are adding up. And
Tom Hanks.
Time will come.
Tom Hanks, if you could push a button,
Yes.
and it would kill half of humanity, knowing that if you didn't push that button, all of us would die, what would you do? Supposedly nice person, Tom Hanks.
You know, that's an interesting question, but I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to go here.
All right.
Try to make me look bad.
Let's go on.
That's like
I
the
gotta-
Corbinite maneuver or something like that.
The Corbinite
well, that's
maneuver.
like there's no correct
That is
answer to that
deep
question.
cut first season
Thank you
Star
very
Trek.
much. There's no right answer to that question.
Did you ever, did you, big fan of Star Trek? I assume.
It was on every day at 6 o'clock, KTVU channel.
Did you ever want to do it? Like, did you ever want to be like on one of the movies or the series or anything like that?
I would like to be a guy in a red shirt that gets killed on the planet, you know.
Any other disappointments, like roles you really would like to?
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, well, listen, there was I drove home once from the Valley all bummed out, thinking that's it, I can't do it, because I didn't get a call back to Police Academy, the first Police Academy. No, I'm serious.
What year
No, I'm serious. It was 82, something like that. 82. You know, if you're of a certain age, everybody in town, knows what's casting. And it was like, this is a bonanza. There's like 49 cops in this thing. There's no way. I'm as good as half those guys. Come on. I could be funny enough. It had Gutenberg and everything, and Michael Winslow, the guy that did the sound effects and stuff like that.
And
it was going to shoot in Toronto. I got like, hey, great, thank you. That was it. And I was driving home to my Honda Civic, just like bummed out. That's it.
So no Toronto, but you got Florence.
Well, look, life is long, my friend, and just like turning 60, just wait, just wait, see what happens.
Here's something that happened that I think made some people very happy. Can you explain, before I show this to people, can you explain what's happening here? What this photo is all about? Is that me and Ryan and Elizabeth? Yeah, I was in Central Park. Believe it or not, Cat Stevens was performing on the Great Lawn for the big one call. So Cat Stevens is I'm being followed by a... So this is playing in the background. Oh, don't stop.
I'm being followed by a moon shadow. And I'm walking moon shadow. And then I keep going. I don't know if can you fake it? Cat Stevens hopping on a moon shadow. Moon shadow. So that's playing, and I come across this wedding party that's getting their photograph taken. So I stopped off. It was right by the reservoir. I said, hey, folks, how you doing? And got the picture. Wish the bride, Elizabeth, was lovely. Ryan was lovely in his way. And I wish them the best. And they had little ring bearers and whatnot. And there's something I always say to everybody getting married. I say to the guy, you, sir, are a very lucky man. And I say to the bride, and you could have done a little better. Because that's my marriage in a nutshell.
They always could. They always could. Every man marries up.
Oh, without a question.
Well,
I know I did.
Tom, thanks for being here.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
Inferno opens this Friday. Mr. Tom Hanks, everybody. We'll be right back with Adam Conover. back, everybody. My next guest is a writer, comedian, podcaster, and now the creator of Adam Ruins Everything on True TV. Please welcome Adam Conover.
Oh, it's incredible to be here. Thank you so much.
I love the way you're dressed. It's very natty.
Oh, yeah. I try to, I try to look good. I do my best.
You stand out in the crowd.
Yeah.
Now, what do you mean you ruin things? What does it mean to ruin something?
Well, that's sort of the superficial idea of our show. It's an educational comedy show where I tell people the awful truth about common misconceptions or cultural traditions that we don't often examine. So, like, you're married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So, when you proposed, you got your wife an engagement ring? You got your fiancé an engagement ring?
I did, yeah. Well, I proposed, I gave it to her later.
Okay, so we think of that as being a very old tradition, right? But that tradition was actually invented by the De Beers Diamond Cartel in the 30s to sell more diamond rings, do like a massive ad campaign, and then everyone forgot about the ad campaign. Now it's like a bedrock tradition of our society.
But a diamond is forever.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, and also diamonds are not very valuable. They're very common. They're very common. But
well, I thought scarcity determines value.
Except that De Beers is a diamond cartel that controls almost the entire world's supply of diamonds, and so they restrict the supply, which keps the prices up. And that's why diamonds are expensive.
They could have you killed. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Just for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So what are some of the favorite things that you've ruined?
Oh, geez.
And do you have a little joy? Do you like watching the light drain out of someone's happy face?
Oh, yeah. Well, the idea of the show is, on the show, I sort of surprise someone who's got, like, a misconception about how the world works.
Otherwise happy, and you say...
And they're like, oh, why do you got to ruin it for me? But at the end, I show them why it's better to know and how that really gives you more power in the world to know the truth.
So, okay, so that's a philosophy then. That's not just, okay.
Yes, I was a philosophy major in college, yeah.
So was I.
Yeah. Oh, really?
For a little while, yeah, for 2 years, and then I decided to do something useful. So what did you have? Like at the end of my freshman year, my first year of studying, we had one question. The test was only one question, and it was, is it better to know or not to know? And there was no test all year. There was only that one. Is it better to know or not to know? And support your answer with a philosophy.
It's incredibly better to know.
Really?
It's
Tell
always
that
better
to
to know the
Oedipus,
truth.
my friend. Is it always better to know?
Yes, it's absolutely a
I don't want to know what's in my hot dog.
Do you not really?
I do not want to know what's in my hot dog.
You sure? Because, I mean, chicken, pork, beef, if you know all the things that go in, you're like, that makes a wonderful combination.
Well, what about all the fly eyes and the rat tail and stuff like that? The stuff that's allowed to be in your hot dog.
Well, then you can choose. You can choose better which one to get. I believe there is absolutely no virtue in ignorance.
So now you've got a special coming out.
Yes, we did an election special.
This is Adam Ruins the Election. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the Adam Ruins Everything election special. Yeah.
Okay. And you've been traveling around the United States.
Oh yeah, we went on this tour bus. This is a bus. This is a bus with my face on it that we drove to 15 cities around the country. This is us driving through the White Sands deserts, which is a very post-apocalyptic feeling to drive through a desert with a bus with your face on it. And I got out of the bus and and an American flag, yeah. It made it very hard to be incognito. Like we went to the shows and people would be like, pretty sure Adam's on that bus. And they were right, because it had my face on the side.
So how do you ruin our elections?
Well, there's so many people doing, such as yourself, incredible comedy about the election. The one thing that we thought we could add with the special was to add a historical perspective to it. Because
is there a historical perspective on this election? Because
of course, yeah.
Okay, so who's like Trump?
Well, okay, there's a lot of examples.
Never been a woman.
Yeah, yes, it's true. There are some genuinely new things about the election, but some of the things that people say, oh, this is so crazy, we've seen before. You know, like everyone says that the rhetoric and the name calling is much, much worse. You know, that Trump and Rubio and all them calling themselves each other's names in the primaries. Mm-hmm. But in the election of 1800, when Thomas Jefferson ran against John Adams, Jefferson hired a newspaper editor to write like incredible slander about Adams in the press. He wrote that he was a hideous hermaphroditical character. It was horrible. He wrote horrible things about him.
Really?
Yes, that's absolutely true. It's a matter of historical record. And then everyone said that when Trump bragged about the size of his penis, that was new. Oh, we can't believe he bragged about the size of his penis. What president could have done such a thing? But LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson, very appropriate name, bragged about the size of his penis constantly.
Yeah, but in private. Not in a debate, not in a televised debate.
There's a very well-circulated story that he pulled out his penis in front of a bunch of reporters. They said, why are you invading Vietnam? And he pulled out his penis and said, this is why. Now, that story might be apocryphal, but he nicknamed his penis Jumbo. This is a matter of historical record. And he would whip it out in front of like Congress people in the Capitol bathroom and be like, you ever see anything as big as this? Which is, he was the president. It must have been.
He's from Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
So you know, there's a lot of, you know, we can find those points of comparison, and that can hopefully relieve some of our anxiety about this election because everyone's so upset about it, you know.
Okay, we got less than a minute. Ruin these things. Ready?
Oh, yes.
Ruin orange juice.
Oh, okay. So even orange juice that says it's 100% orange juice on the label, it's all artificially flavored.
Okay. Mouthwash.
Mouthwash, Listerine was initially sold as a floor cleaner, but this is true, matter of historical record, but Listerine invented the term halitosis in the 30s. They made up that idea in order to sell it as a mouthwash.
Okay, Tom Hanks.
Oh, you can't ruin him. He's perfect. He's David Pumpkins. You can't ruin David Pumpkins.
Adam ruins everything. Election special is on True TV tomorrow night. Adam Connor, everybody. We'll be right back. Well, that's it for the Late Show, everybody. Tune in tomorrow with Mike Esselby, Will Forte, Dermot Mulroney, and Wyatt Cenac. Let's stick around for James Porter and his guest, Nick Hopper.